Hey guys, welcome back. I'm David Mathas, and thank you guys for tuning in to another episode on my channel. If you guys are subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your support. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you guys enjoy this episode and other content that I've put out. So if you do, please like, subscribe, and share. It'd mean a lot to me, just trying to get out there and help as many people as possible. So with that being said, I want to dig right down into today's topic, all right? And I think this is going to be relevant to pretty much 99% of us out there, right? If you're tuning into my channel, you're probably into fitness, you're probably into physique competitions, strength competitions, things along those sorts. Or, you know what? You just want to be healthier. So the topic today is all about what do I do after I cheat on my diet, okay? We've all been there, right? We've all done that. We've had a plan in place. Maybe it's just a meal, right? Maybe it's a whole day, whatever it is, but something has come up and we have kind of let our willpower down. We've kind of gone off a plan, right? And that's totally normal. First of all, I don't want you guys to beat yourselves up about it because that is being human, right? You're not a robot. You are not going to be able to sustain exactly the precise plan day in and day out for the rest of your life. I don't care how much willpower you think you have. I don't care how little distractions you think you have, whatever it is. Believe me, and this is coming from somebody who for many years clinically was diagnosed and suffered from obsessive compulsive disorder, and still to some extent today I do. So you will fall off at times if you have not already. So if you have or you haven't, this is a good video for you to watch because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to touch on the physical response, the psychological response, and then as a coach, why I need to know when you cheated on your diet, okay? So let's first start with the physical response, right? If you cheated on your diet, that most likely, not always, but that most likely was an unconscious signal from your body that you've been dieting too much, you've been too strict, and your body needs something different, right? So I don't want you to fear that cheat meal or whatever. Your body is going to use and process the calories that you take in, right? Like I said, most likely your body was craving it and it was a unconscious signal that was sent to you to either overindulge or to eat something different. Accept that, right? Accept that in that moment and move on because it's going to do your body more good. There's plenty of refeed studies out there that researchers have shown, especially with competitors that are late in their dieting stage for prep, like 2-day back-to-back refeeds where they bump up their calories actually helps not repair but kind of restore their metabolism a little bit, helps keep it firing so that their fat loss phase can continue without kind of stalling out, right? So from a physical response, cheating on your diet can actually be very beneficial for you, okay, when done in moderation and when not done very frequently. So keep that in mind. So from a psychological standpoint, what happens when you cheat on a diet? Well, most of the time when you overindulge on something, what happens, right? You start feeling guilty. You start beating yourself up about it. You start trying to overcompensate with more exercise or whatever to burn those calories. When in reality, guys, that is the worst thing you guys can do for, a cheat meal or a cheat day. The stress that you work up in your body from guilt, anger, sadness, whatever feelings it is that came up negatively because of that meal, because of that one food, because of that one day, is actually going to stimulate a negative chemical response in your body that is not going to allow for proper digestion. It's also not going to allow for proper storage of those nutrients like they could be, you know. A lot of those nutrients could be stored right to your muscles, but if you start stressing and your cortisol levels start raising, what's that going to do? Well, cortisol is going to start, when chronic, is going to start elevating fat storage, right? So that cheat meal, which could have possibly been a little beneficial for you, is now going to be a huge detriment to you because you started stressing about it, right? Because all those nutrients, your body is not going to allow for proper nutrient partitioning, where the nutrients go in your body, which is to our muscles, which we want, right? cortisol gets too high, you start worrying too much, you start trying to overcompensate with more exercise, you raise those cortisol levels in your body and you promote more fat storage. So guys, the best thing you can do, if you have that one meal, if you have that one day, whatever, accept it, smile, laugh it off, and trust me, I know this is hard. I suffered for many years from an eating disorder. If I overate on something, if I went off my plan, whatever it was, I was the stereotypical do more cardio, don't eat the next meal, try to do everything to compensate for that cheat meal, day, etc., whatever it was. What that did was that put me further in the hole, right? That made me sicker. That made me, that slowed down my metabolism more. It just overall was a negative experience. Fast forward many years, I've learned from that. I actually incorporate some of those foods into my diet now on a more regular basis so that my body's used to it. But not just my body, so that my mind is used to it, right? Do not beat yourself up psychologically. Accept it, laugh it off, move on, get back on track with the next meal, okay? It is not going to kill you. I promise you. I will not lie. Okay, so let's move on to the next point. As a coach, why do I need to know if you've had a cheat meal? Well, there's many different reasons, right? It could explain a weight fluctuation for the next day. It could explain possibly why you're holding on to more water. A lot more sodium. You took in a lot more sodium than usual. Hormones, mood, all these things, they all play into factors when your coach, like me, or a coach that you're working with, is developing your plan for the next week, right? Be honest. Be honest with me. Be honest with your coach, whoever you're working with. Be honest with yourself. And just let them know. It happens, guys. It's nothing new that we haven't heard, right? But if we don't know what's going on in your diet, in your training, in your personal life, to an extent, we cannot properly do our jobs to help you overcome that, right? We could actually use that cheat meal to our advantage if we knew about it. So do not hide the fact that you might have slipped up on your diet, all right? A good coach, and I guess I'll just speak for myself and a few others that I totally admire and that I'm mentored by, we will not judge you, okay? If you have a coach that does judge you, fire him. Contact me. I'd love to work with you. But in reality, guys, the worst thing you can do is hide it, right? Because when it gets down to that last little bit of push right before the show or the last part of your fat loss and you might be stalling or whatever and you did not report that you had a cheat meal, well, that throws the whole plan off course, doesn't it? So next time you have something that you don't usually have, or you indulge in something, or you have a whole day, accept it, right? Own it, smile, laugh it off. Tell yourself, oh, you know what? Those calories are going to be used for good. I'm going to get right back on track with the next meal and keep moving on with my plan and hit my goal. And be honest with yourself, be honest with your coach, so that you guys can work together as a team, because a good client and a good coach, they're a team, right? It's not the coach just dictating to the client. It is a team effort. So that's how I coach. That's how many people that I respect coach. So do not fear that cheat meal. Do not fear that overindulgence for one day. Use it to your advantage. Keep moving forward and go tackle your goals. Thank you guys for tuning in. That's going to be the end of this episode. If you guys have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'm going to put my information down in the description box. If you guys are looking for any nutrition and training coaching, please contact me. I'd love to work with you. I work with general pop and competition athletes, so everything is custom to your specific goals, macros, and training programs. So contact me. I'd love to work with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it and other content on my channel. I'll be seeing you guys next time.